So, Linky चाहिँ मलाई फोन गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ डोन्ट मेक इट टु फर्मल भन्नुभएको थियो अनि मलाई त अलिकति गाह्रो हुन्छ बिकज वान्स आई स्टार्ट स्पिकिङ देन अलिकति फर्मल हुन्छ सो प्लिज बेयर विथ मी बिहान आज त्यो एकदम गडाइपुडे हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ आई वाज होपिङ लाइक दिस स्कुल गर्ल हुन्छ नि आज फोन गरेर प्रोग्राम क्यान्सल भयो भनेर बट इट डिडन्ट ह्यापन सो आइम हियर and I don't do a lot of these kind of sessions. I normally have 5 minutes time or 10 minutes time and it was like 40 minutes and I kind of freaked out a little bit 40 minutes ki bolne bhanera but I think it's been few years that we've been in this journey so 40 minutes is not bad. So I'm a little nervous too because I'm not used to this so spare me. So where do I start? I've not come lot prepared because I didn't want it to be structured, but maybe just go casually and with the flow in. So Bitsama, if there's anything like questions or queries, then I think it would be more interactive than just me speaking all the time. So Shmiti is also here, and she's part of our board of directors. So अलिकति चाहिँ म डाँफे र साथको बारेमा अलिकति छुट्टै भन्न चाहन्छु. So साथको कुरा गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ we kind of have to go back in 2004. So 2004 मा चाहिँ I was doing my undergrads in social work अनि त्यतिखेर we had this like field placement हाम्रो different field settingsहरुमा गएर so few of us were placed in an organization setting जुन चाहिँ HIV positive बच्चाहरुसँग अनि womenहरुसँग काम गर्थ्यो अनि त्यतिखेर थ्योरी हुन्थ्यो त्यही कुरा चाहिँ हामीले फिल्डमा गएर we used to practice it अनि त्यहाँ जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ like I've never been part of this kind of environment so it was too overwhelming for me म कति चोटी चाहिँ घरमा आएर रोएको पनि थिए because I could not just even to this day मलाई अलिकति गाह्रो हुन्छ because एकचोटी स्कुलमा पढेर हैन you were so structured right घर स्कुल so you never get to interact with the outside world so त्यहाँ गएर जब चाहिँ I met with these amazing women and children few of them were clueless about where their life was going to and a few of them were like this is it अनि त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ it kind of broke my heart and not just me there were 11 of us who actually felt the pain of those women so what we thought was कि उहाँहरूले चाहिँ के भन्नुहुन्थ्यो भने बहिनी यस्तै हो हामी चाहिँ अब कुरेर बसिरहौ मर्नको लागि भन्दाखेरि and that was त्यो भर्खरै त्यो फ्रेश त्यो ब्याचलर्समा जाने बित्तिकै त्यो कुरा सुन्दाखेरि चाहिँ it's not easy so what we thought was maybe we can make ourselves a little bit useful अनि हामीहरु 11 जना थियो अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ एकजना सिनियर दाइ हुनुहुन्थ्यो लक्षिन्द्र दाइ so he and then 10 other हामी चाहिँ जुनियर भर्खर फर्स्ट इयरमा थियो त्यतिखेर चाहिँ we got together during our vacation period हुन्थ्यो त्यतिखेरसम्म नि हुन्थ्यो अहिले चाहिँ हुन्छ कि हुँदैन I don't know so त्यो vacation period चाहिँ we wanted to make it a little worthwhile अनि we decided to get together and organize an event so that we could raise some seed money for those handful of women who wanted to get out of that organization setting and do something on their own. So त्यो भएपछि चाहिँ त्यो टाइममा खासै इभेन्टहरु हुँदैन थियो अहिले like you see a lot of events happening अनि त्यतिखेर त्यो युथहरुलाई खासै मान्छेले ट्रस्ट पनि गर्दैन थियो यिनीहरुले के नै गर्छ भनेर हैन so we knocked so many doors at that time. I don't think I can do that same kind of work अहिले आएर तर त्यतिखेर चाहिँ you didn't feel like हुन्छ नि कसले के जज गर्छ कि अथवा के भन्छ कि we were just seeking so and it was okay at that time I'm not gonna say that I regret that हैन so I think it was a team effort जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ 2004 मा चाहिँ we did Sath event I'm sure Smriti Di knows about it हैन त्यतिखेरको लागि that was something I'm not boasting it but at that time त्यो levelको event चाहिँ हुन्छ नि 11 जना youthहरुले with help of so many other individuals चाहिँ it was something and we raised some fund it was almost like 3 lakh जति त्यो टाइममा चाहिँ it was त्यसको वर्थ अझै थियो होइन सो 2 लाख रेज गरेर चाहिँ वी ह्यान्डेड इट टु सम अफ दोज वुमेन हु एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड एन अर्गनाइजेसन अफ देयर ओन सो 7 को स्टोरी चाहिँ त्यसरी सुरु हुन्छ सो वी डिड नट स्टार्ट बिकज वी थट देयर वाज opportunity
project के पनि थिएन हामीसँग अफिस स्पेस पनि थिएन अनि तिरको लागि that was something I'm not म यहाँ एकदम I'm not boasting it but at that time त्यो लेभलको इभेन्ट चाहिँ 11 जना
because you cannot always work in a loose structure so register गरेपछि चाहिँ because we were so new and we were learning on our own. There weren't people who were telling us what to do and what not to do, and I think that's the beauty of this organization as well. So, we weren't streamlined, you know, like I had an organization or structured, so streamlined. So, like whatever was in front of us, we were like, okay, we need to do something about this. So, I'm just this very unfold because. We were working in a very flexible environment because studies was definitely our priority. So त्यसलाई सँगसँगै लग्नको लागि चाहिँ हुन्छ नि हामीले यही गर्छु यो चाहिँ गर्दिन भन्ने भन्दा पनि सो त्यतिखेर we ended up working with elderly HIV मा भइहाल्यो ड्रग प्रिभेन्सनमा एन्भाइरोमेन्टमा सो हामीले के पनि छोडेर त्यतिखेर काम गर्नको लागि तर I think that was good because sometimes you don't know what you actually want to do unless you try hands at हुन्छ नि धेरैवटा कुरा सो त्यो भएपछि चाहिँ सरी हामी त्यसरी नै एज अ ग्रुप काम गऱ्यो रेजिस्टर थियो तर अफिस थिएन फन्डिङ थिएन केही पनि थिएन तर वाट वी ह्याड टिम एफर्ट एन्ड वी वर प्यासनेट अबाउट वाट वी वर डुइङ अनि साथको चाहिँ जहिले पनि कुरा गर्दाखेरि समटाइम्स वाट ह्यापन्स इज पिक्चरमा धेरै मान्छे आउँदैन होइन तर इफ यु हेभ टु एक्चुली गो ब्याक एन्ड डिग डिपर देन देयर आर सो मेनी इन्डिभिजुअल्स हु हेभ contributed at different levels. Like I cannot take the list of the names, but we always say that it's not because of an individual. It's not because of few individuals. It's because of so many individuals. त्यो हुन्छ नि त्यो brick by brick भने जस्तै त्यो foundation lay गर्नको लागि there were many people. So sometimes when people say that I did this, then I really doubt that because it's I think impossible. Someone can lead, but there's always a team effort. So त्यो कुरालाई चाहिँ हामीले डिफ्रेन्ट वेजबाट एक्नोलेज चाहिँ गरिरहेको हुन्छ होइन अनि साथको चाहिँ त्यतिखेर सो हाम्रो स्टडिज प्रायोरिटी भएको भएर चाहिँ लाइक स्टडिज पनि थियो अनि काम पनि थियो अनि त्यसपछि आएर बिचमा चाहिँ के भयो भने आफ्टर वी ग्रेजुएटेड सो मोस्ट अफ द फाउन्डर मेम्बर्स वी वेन्ट अब्रड फर स्टडिज अनि त्यतिखेर पनि डिफ्रेन्ट अरू सोसल वर्क कलेजको स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू पनि दे बिकेम पार्ट अफ द अर्गनाइजेसन सो सुरुमा सेन्ट जेभियर्सको मात्रै थियो होइन त्यसपछि चाहिँ अरू डिफ्रेन्ट कलेजको चाहिँ सो देयर आर सो मेनी पिपल वर एक्चुअली इन्भल्भ एट द्याट टाइम सो हामी 4 वर्षको लागि बाहिर म चाहिँ अब धेरैले पढ्न गयो भने चाहिँ म चाहिँ हलिन गएँ भन्छु होइन किनभने I went outside and then I did get the amount of exposure, but I wasn't super satisfied with the education that I received there. Exposure, I would definitely acknowledge that. So normally masters गर्नलाई 2 वर्ष लाग्छ सो अर्को 2 वर्षमा हल्ले अनि त्यसपछि आएँ अल्छी लाग्यो अनि यहाँ आइसकेपछि चाहिँ हामी I think 4 of the founder members we got back together अनि आइसकेपछि we thought कि पहिला जसरी हामीले स्टार्ट गर्दाखेरि लाइक ह्यान्डफुल अफ पिपल फ्रम हियर एन्ड देयर आएर हामीले ल गर्छौँ भन्यो तर यहाँ आउँदाखेरि देयर वाज सो मेनी युथ अर्गनाइजेसन्स अलरेडी एन्ड देयर वाज लट अफ च्यालेन्जेस हामीले जुन 2004 मा स्टार्ट गरेको थियो वी काइन्ड अफ ह्याड टु स्टार्ट एभ्रिथिङ फ्रम स्क्रच अनि त्यसले चाहिँ अलिकति चाहिँ जे भए पनि मास्टर्स गरिसकेपछि त पहिला जसरी ब्याचलर्समा डोर टु डोर गएर त्यो हेल्प सपोर्ट सिक गर्ने त्यो गर्न अलिकति अप्ठ्यारो चाहिँ भयो आई हेभ टु एक्नोलेज द्याट अनि त्यो उसमा पेजमा वी डिडन्ट ह्याभ एनी प्रोजेक्ट्स केही पनि थिएन हामीसँग अफिस स्पेस पनि थिएन अनि आइम श्योर यु हर्ड अबाउट थेम्स इन्टरनेसनल कलेज एन्ड आई अलवेज से दिस दे प्रोभाइडेड us with a small space. Who does that, right? There were few of St. Xavier's alumni or faculty, and they said that we have a spare room, you can use it. And then we actually started from that. Maybe the space was like this size, and it was such a wonderful gesture. And त्यसरी नै त्यसपछि that there were like few of our friends who said that, okay, we have extra space, you can use the other space. So after 7 months, we moved to a little bigger space, that's too for free. And त्यसपछि चाहिँ we started getting few projects. हामीले apply गर्न थाल्यो अनि projectsहरु आउन थाल्यो. अनि so I'm gonna त्यसपछि म साथको कुरा यही सकाउँछु, otherwise it will be very long. अनि मैले खाली भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ sometimes the start could be a little rough, but the foundation has to be strong. So I always say that साथमा जति पनि मान्छे आयो, they weren't there just because they wanted to get engaged somewhere. They were there because they genuinely felt that they wanted to do something. So त्यही भएर चाहिँ we've been so fortunate to always have these like-minded individuals working in the team. अनि एउटा प्रोजेक्टको चाहिँ अलिकति म थोरै भन्छु, because हामीले साथ स्टार्ट गरेको नै यो HIV positive बच्चा अनि वुमेनहरुसँग भएर, that is one issue that's always so close to our heart. अनि हामी फर्केर आएपछि पनि, even if we didn't have any funding, we said that okay, we're out there and then let's start supporting some of the children. So हामी 8 जना बच्चाबाट स्टार्ट गरेको प्रोजेक्टको नाम चाहिँ Hakuna Matata. You know what Hakuna Matata means? Yeah? Be happy, right? No worries, be happy. So it's a Swahili word. And we just thought कि बच्चासँग काम गरे भने why structure it in a very serious उसमा किन गर्ने. So Hakuna Matata भने यहाँ चाहिँ कोही पनि हाँसेन. Normally Hakuna Matata भनेदेखि it brings a smile on everybody's face. Because I think it's a very happy word. अनि बच्चाहरूले एकदम relate पनि गर्छ. And most of the people that हुन्छ नि Hakuna Matata and they cannot pronounce it well, and it's funny. Like especially the older people, they're like Hakuna Matata or stuff like that. So I think it's a very fun word. And the program itself is very fun. यहाँ चाहिँ हामीले HIV को advocacyहरु भन्दा पनि we just have a good time together with these children. So त्यसरी चाहिँ हाम्रो एउटा एकदम important program चाहिँ Hakuna Matata भयो. अनि अर्को चाहिँ के छ भने when we started साथ, I think few of us were always clear कि where we wanted to go forward with this organization. किनभने you guys know about the NGO culture, I'm sure like some of you are also affiliated to some NGOs, have been working. So हाम्रो यहाँको NGO culture चाहिँ अलिकति जस्तो NGO भन्ने बित्तिकै कतिजनाले चाहिँ अलिकति नाक पनि खुम्चाएर हुन्छ, oh she works in NGO, he works in NGO भनेर. किनभने and I don't blame people who are a little skeptical about when it comes to NGO भनेर, because and then I think that हाम्रो generation चाहिँ त्यो change गर्नुपर्छ, because I wouldn't say that NGO as a institution is wholesome bad. I think the way it functions needs to be revised for sure. So हामी NGO setting मा काम गर्दा फेरि जहिले पनि like how you're at the other end seeking support all the time, asking for money. अनि my dad is not a big fan of NGOs, so कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अनि तिमीहरु भनेको अलिकति राम्रो भीख माग्ने मान्छेहरु भन्छ हैन, because and it's true, like we're dressed up and then we're like okay we need this भनेर, and it's not super bad asking, because I'm not asking money to put it in my pocket, I'm asking it for a cause. But whatsoever कहिलेसम्म गर्ने त यस्तो कुरा भनेर चाहिँ we always question that, because are we not self-sufficient where we can see ourselves making money? जस्तै अब हुन्छ नि त्यो एनजिओले चाहिँ अलिकति डिपेन्डेन्सी चाहिँ बनाइरहेछ, त्यो चाहिँ I think we have to acknowledge that fact, and dependency is a very bad thing, right? जस्तै हामी पनि अब certain age सम्म हुर्केपछि like हाम्रो कल्चरमा चाहिँ अलिकति त्यो when हाम्रो upbringingमा चाहिँ it's like we're always looked after धेरै समयसम्म हैन, मास्टर्स गर्ने सम्मसम्म पनि like we're in the what to do, what not to do, limitations are. So sometimes it's very difficult to get out of that. So maybe the upbringing le pani alikati chai farak parcha hola हैन किनभने यहाँ चाहिँ अब I don't know, it's my personal opinion, it could not be everybody's perspective regarding this, तर अलिकति डिपेन्डेन्सी चाहिँ त्यो अपब्रिङिङमा बिस्तारै त्यो छोड्दै भनेदेखि चाहिँ पछि गएर हामीलाई अलिकति सजिलो चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो. So sometimes I'm like, I tell my parents that maybe if you guys had given me more freedom, then अहिलेसम्म अझै धेरै अगाडि बढिसक्थेँ कि भनेर, it's just out of so मैले भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ जस्तै एनजिओ कल्चरमा जुन डिपेन्डेन्सी छ त्यो चाहिँ we don't favor that dependency. Having said that, we're still dependent, but now we've kind of changed our track and we're moving towards being independent. And I think that's a good start, right? So everybody is familiar with the earthquake that happened in 2015, right? Sadly, even to this day, that was a good time. It sounds very harsh. They say that people hope that Nepal earthquake jaos bhanera. You know why? Because money was flooding like anything, and it's super sad because हामी जस्तो organization and we're a small structured organization. People were throwing money at us like anything. I was in Pokhara when the earthquake happened, and then Facebook message or email or there were a lot of people that were affiliated and associated with the organization, and they had they trusted us. So they started sending us money without us asking for money. So हामी जस्तो organization त्यति पैसा पायो भने we were super overwhelmed because we're not prepared for disaster relief. हैन अब हाम्रोमा त्यो छँदै छैन अर्गनाइजेसनमा तर त्यसरी पैसा पठाइसकेपछि चाहिँ then we tied up with few of the other organizations, institutions, clubहरुसँग गरेर चाहिँ like any other organization or individual we worked in the relief. तर I think एउटा point पछि चाहिँ के भयो भने we were going in so many communities and people were like, they were not appreciative of the kind of work we were doing. They're like, they got money, that's why they're here. And to an extent that was true. So हामीलाई के भयो भने this is not right. Just because somebody is giving us the money, we don't have any right to just throw in money at people. And this पछि we decided to stop the immediate relief, and we got together, we did a little brainstorming, and we came up with an idea to actually use that relief money as a seed funding to start something that has a sustainable impact. So this Danfe came into being. So I don't know if some of you have heard about Danfe. So Danfe initially started as a project जहाँ चाहिँ हामीले जुन earthquakeबाट affected communitiesहरुमा गएर बहिनीहरुलाई लिएर आएर यहाँ चाहिँ we give them tailoring training. So initially when we started, that was the whole idea. अनि त्यसपछि हामीले के realize गर्यो भने normally NGO मा चाहिँ project भनेको चाहिँ it has a life, right? Funding आएसम्म project चलाउँछ हैन, like we give a lot of hope to people saying we'll do this and that and all the stuff, and the minute the funding stop, we're out of it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. And so, but is that the kind of commitment we as an organization would want to give to people? No, we don't want to do that. So हामीले चाहिँ त्यो Danfe-मा चाहिँ एउटा sustainability को model राख्यौं. And I'm sure it's not easy for everyone, and not everybody will get lucky on this one. But like the first sector, we work with Caritas Canada, if you're familiar with it or not. But it's a INGO, just with the relief or maybe support person. So when we had this proposal for training, and the training last one where the time later, our component हामीले चाहिँ production र outlet खोल्यो भनेर I mean, not many donor agency or partner organizations, they agree to these type of terms and conditions. Like, and I enjoy the I don't know, they were convinced and maybe we were convincing enough that they decided to support us. So हाम्रो Danfe model कस्तो हुन्छ? So there's a training aspect and there's a production. So training भनेको त्यसले impact create गर्छ अनि production ले चाहिँ business को. So like I mentioned, like most of us are all social work graduates, social work students, so we have no idea about business. अहिलेसम्म पनि business को खासै एक दुईजना छ होला तर धेरैजना छैन. But sometimes I think it's the experience that teaches. Obviously, I agree to the fact that business school always added value create person. However, when we started, we had the opportunity to make mistakes and learn out of it. Not everybody has that opportunity. So, हाम्रो model कस्तो छ भने, so सुरुमै let's open a social enterprise भनेको लागि यो भनेको एकदमै gradual eventual process. So I think your case we're very lucky. Sorry. It's fine. So cute somebody. So Danfe को एउटा चाहिँ impact को aspect हुन्छ अनि अर्को चाहिँ business को aspect को. So impact मा चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म हामीले 104 जना young womenहरूलाई चाहिँ tailoring को training दिएको छ. अनि त्यसपछि 2017 को beginning मा गएर we started Danfe outlet. So how is the training and the outlet like कसरी चाहिँ त्यो सँगसँगै जान्छ align हुन्छ भन्दा जसरी हामीले बहिनीहरूलाई तालिम दिन्छ ट्रेनिङ दिन्छ हैन अनि त्यसबाट चाहिँ like handful of the बहिनीहरू who wants to stay within Danfe and work. So production को लागि चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई हामीले employment opportunity दिन्छ. अनि त्यसपछि त्यही employment opportunity बाट production हुन्छ. अनि त्यो भएको production चाहिँ we sell it from our outlet. So that's how it functions. And so I think enterprise every there's not a fixed definition. I think everybody has their own way of defining what an enterprise is. So enterprise social enterprise. There's a difference between enterprise and social enterprise, but I think it's a social enterprise because we create that balance between social and the business part equally. But we are very mindful that one or the other is not overshadowing the other component. Because as a business model, if you're too social, then you might lose the business. And as a business, if you're too focused, then you might lose the social aspect. So I think creating balance, it's a little convenient on our side because like social work impact and reaching out to the community and so so business aspect I'm sure like you've heard it so many times that it's not super easy but at the same time it's not super hard. So I think if you set yourself out there, if you're okay to face the challenges and everything, then you can do it. But I think when people ask, how are you sustaining on the feeling? I think everybody has their own story. So sometimes might not be applicable to everybody. And just in it wasn't super easy, but it wasn't like I think everybody has their own journey, business money. So additional value how we create it, because if for example like if I have to imagine running this business on my own, pulling out money from my pocket, it's impossible. Hands down, I cannot do that. But because we come from NGO background, maybe this one we find that but it's for a good cause, right? So let's say we want to make sure that we have this funding for until 2022. So we started in 2016. Our business plan is for 5 years. So in 5 years, we want to generate enough revenue so that after 2022, we are able to sustain on our own and we don't have to rely on the donor agency. So that's the model that we've created. And 2017 देखि start गरेको shop. अहिलेसम्म we've already raised almost $55,000 in our revenue. So 2022 को end सम्म चाहिँ we're aiming $400,000. That's almost like 4 crore. So त्यो नेबितिले चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने त्यसबाट जुन हामीले त्यो चाहिँ endowment fund भनेर we've created that. So we're not going to use that money. We're not going to pull fund and use it. So we're going to just use the interest. So हामीले त्यसको interest मात्र use गरेर चाहिँ 2023 देखि चाहिँ we can give training and we are certain that we'll be able to operate our own shop. So अहिलेसम्म there is just one Danfe outlet. We've already opened another one. त्यसकै अन्डरमा चाहिँ Red Panda भनेर चाहिँ this is exclusively for children wear. So Red Panda खोलिसकेको छ अनि we're in the process of opening another outlet within a month or so. Because expansion is very important in business. You know, you cannot always expect people to come to you. You have to reach out to people as well, right? So त्यो हिसाबमा चाहिँ 2022 को end सम्म we want to make sure that हामीले जुन अहिले गरिरहेको छ जस्तै अब 2 years मा 55,000 is not bad, right? It's quite good because हामीले अहिले नै त्यो $55,000 is not our net profit, it's our revenue because operating cost is being supported by funding agencies. And I'm telling you, like, सबैलाई applicable हुन्छ भन्ने छैन, but अहिलेको टाइममा social business गर्नको लागि there are different funding opportunities as well. So कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ हाम्रो enterprise-मा चाहिँ अलिकति धेरै चाहिँ like yeah, we have to take the risk भनेको सुनिरहेको हुन्छ तर risk लिने भनेर एकैचोटि हामीले पनि हैन. You have to take a calculated risk as well. Because I see a lot of people doing business in social enterprise. I'm not discouraging you. Like I said, everybody has their story. But speaking out of my experience, जुन Danfe अहिले छ हैन जसरी हामीले प्रोडक्ट्सहरु बनाएर मान्छेहरुलाई डेलिभर गरिरहेछ त्यो एक्सट्रिममा जानको लागि if I had to imagine pulling out pocket from few of the individuals, then it would not be possible. It's difficult because every time say profit so loss we might get a little discouraged. So I think this we have to be very mindful. I think that now the time is over, but maybe we'll talk more in the question and answer now.